All right. Welcome, everybody. 2 weeks consecutive. I'm proud of myself. uh,
Am I having a bad hair day? No, I think
no,
I
you look
always
great.
say,
You look great. For those of you who don't know, we do this every Friday, 7 a.m. Try to be at 7 a.m. It's all my fault, not Rajivji's fault. 7 a.m. for to solve your immigration doubts, and we try to do Q&A, any updates. Rajivji is our immigration lawyer, so welcome, Rajivji. Any new updates? What's going on in the immigration world? Like, is second lottery happening, or was that decided already?
I think it's going to happen, but that's just my guess based upon what I see in the numbers. And
Okay.
more than anything else, it's not the numbers that have been released by the USCIS. It's just the numbers I see
Hmm.
because I
Hmm.
have done so many consultations on this issue. And in about 99% of the cases, I've advised not to file an H-1B
Hmm.
because, like yesterday, I had a consultation where this young man wanted me to tell him really badly that it's okay to file an H-1B. And his story was that he had gotten in touch with four companies,
Hmm.
and those companies, he had emails showing that those companies were telling him that they had genuine projects.
Hmm.
And I said, did they look at your resume? And he said they did look at my resume. And but then he said they then had tie-ups with other companies, and so they filed multiple times,
Hmm.
and those other companies were related. So I said, now all of a sudden what's going to happen is the burden of proof is going to fall upon you to
Hmm.
prove
Hmm.
that you had no bad intent, because the
Right.
government sees the fact that you've done multiple filings.
Yeah.
They don't have to look into anything more than that. That's enough to bar you from H-1B lottery this year
Hmm.
and maybe more.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
I see so many cases like this.
Hmm. That's yeah. Anything new from the stamping perspective? Like, I know we covered it last time.
No,
I think it looks like there's a question too. Like, can do it in USA, or do we need to go in
well,
India?
first of all,
Maybe you
remember,
can do like a one minute, like a summary of.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So back before 2015, it was there used to be a program called revalidation. So visa revalidation, I remember for sure it was all H&L visas. I don't remember if it was available for student visas. But the idea was that first time visa stamping you had to get done outside the United States. But all subsequent visa stampings could be done within the United States by mailing your passport with the forms and the fees, and
hmm,
you will get the passport with the visa stamp extended or revalidated back by mail.
hmm,
Okay, if I remember correctly, you could actually put in a prepaid FedEx envelope or UPS envelope so that they could send it back to you using that envelope. Okay. Now, the thing that was the most important about that program was, remember, it was not for the first time stamping. Okay.
hmm,
Last time we discussed, I don't see any logical reason why we cannot do first time stamping in USA also, because it's not like we have to examine non-immigrant intent. That's a problem for student visas and tourist visas. H-1B L-1s don't have those problems. And then on top of that, we are now so connected. Any information that the consulate in India has, pretty much the Washington D.C. offices or wherever or it's Kentucky Center, wherever they start the revalidation from, they will have the
hmm,
same information.
hmm,
So when is this program going to become effective? They were USCIS has said during the American Immigration Lawyers Convention also that by the end of this year. So that's another 4 or 5 months.
hmm,
If you can hold off and you need visa stamped again, I would say wait. Let's see how the program shapes up. If you can wait for it, because there are a very large number of people running into problems with visa stamping.
yeah, yeah,
So that's where we are.
yeah. Okay. All right. We are now getting questions. So let's answer some of the questions. Options available to stay in United States after getting NOIR when I'm on my first H1B.
So, notice of intent to revoke is issued because the first H1B was approved by mistake or due to fraud or misrepresentation. Okay. So, it all depends upon what the grounds of the NOIR are. But if you get an NOIR and your H1B actually gets revoked, if it is for fraud or misrepresentation and it's attributable to you, the employee, kiss USA goodbye. Okay.
Mm,
Because fraud or misrepresentation is a permanent bar from ever entering the United States again under any status. And it's a very difficult bar to overcome. The waiver is very limited. There is a waiver for non immigrant visas. If you get the bar and you want to come to USA temporarily, there's a waiver called 212D3, but 212D3 waivers are hardly successful, at least in my recent experience, where there is fraud or misrepresentation. 212D3
do
waiver, go ahead.
do they? So let's say I got NOIR. Do I get chance to represent my side?
Well, my as an employer side, because the
Hmm.
remember the NOIR is directed to the employer, not to the employee. So
Okay.
yes, absolutely.
And do they give the reason why they
Oh
want to
yeah,
revoke it? Okay.
yeah. They
So
say
in
that
that
yeah,
notice they
these are
will
the
say,
reasons.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
these
got
are
it.
the reasons we intend to revoke.
Hmm.
And if you have any arguments to make, you can do that. And if you provide this is evidence, you might be able to overcome the revocation.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. All right. Well, that's the answer. H1B transfer of stamped visa without traveling to USA, risky or common?
Pretty
Wait.
common, Tapsi. This is pretty common. But there are variables whether you are a quota case and what happened to the quota. But overall, yeah, it's done all the time. Not a problem.
Okay. When it is asking why H1B was picked, but USIS is still saying they are actively reviewing it, anything I need to worry about, it's 2 plus month.
It's very weird, but I don't know.
Hmm. Okay, and there was one more. Are they gonna revoke the multiple applicants?
They already are revoking.
Hmm. Someone is asking, are there chances of having second lottery? I think we covered it, but
Yeah. So, Dindra, these are chances are, I think chances are good this year.
yeah. On H1, can I work for an Indian company based in India given the role is remote and payroll is running out of India?
Can I work for an Indian company based in India? But you are in USA. No, that would be a violation of your status. So if you already have an H1B job and you want a second job with an Indian company, I think that would be a violation of status.
Hmm. Do like okay, yeah, never mind. Any update regarding H4 visa holders work permission?
There is nothing new happening there.
Yeah, it's the same, right?
Yeah, same law as it was 6 months ago.
Yeah. Let's see. Trying to find the questions. Okay. Maybe there's a follow-up question for this. My OPT EAD is expiring August 22nd. I'm applying for my STEM extension in a couple of days. Planning to travel outside of USA from July 24 to 28, which leaves 5 days on my current EAD. Can I re-enter the USC and does going outside of US will bother my STEM extension application? Can I re-enter that?
Devesh, I don't remember the answer offhand, but when I started looking at this issue of travel during OPT, STEM OPT, H1B pending, I created a mind map, a very detailed mind map, which is on my blog on immigration.com. And it should be about the fifth page. Okay. So go to my blog on immigration.com. Around the fifth page tells you at what stage you can travel and what the risks are.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up.
Yeah, you go to Yeah, go to my blog on immigration.com and about the
Hmm.
fifth page.
What does it say?
Should say travel during during F1 OPT H1B pending, something like that.
Okay, can't
Hang
find
on,
it.
I have the link, I think.
Okay,
Give me 1 second. It should be in.
right. Meanwhile, Kayan is asking, what is the process of H1B changing to another company? What will happen if the current company come to know that I'm going to change it?
Well, as long as you get the H1B transfer filed before the current company takes any action, they cannot do anything. So process is you get another employer to file another H1B transfer.
So okay, I've always been confused about this because I never had to change companies, but I have H1B from company A. I started interviewing for whatsoever reason, company growth, personal growth, whatever. Company B is offering me more money. I was like, okay, I love this, and so I tell them that I have H1B with company A. Do they need to take over? So they need to file H1
Yes.
transfer.
Yeah. So what they do is company B will simply file your H1B. That has no connection with company A. It's not like they have to call company A and say, hey, IBM, Microsoft calling, we are going to steal one of your employees. You have a
Right.
problem with that. And it's not like you need a clarification or a clearance from them. You
Yeah.
just file the H1B transfer. But
Hmm.
here is where the quantum weirdness in H1B comes in.
Hmm.
So the law says when an employee is let go, you have to revoke their H1B. Okay.
Okay.
So let's say an IBM employee wants to go to Microsoft and he gets the H1B transferred. 3 months later, he realizes, I hate Microsoft. They have nothing
Hmm.
of their own. Even the chat GPT, they've stolen the technology. So then you go, you know what? I like IBM's program better. And I think they are also going to do quantum computing far quicker, and they are the original people. I want to go
Hmm.
back to them. If
Hmm.
IBM has not revoked your H1B, you can go right back and join them. Even though
Ah.
you've been working 6 months or 3 months for Microsoft, but because IBM has not revoked your H1B, that also survives.
Hmm. So when do I inform company A? So IBM, like for example, if I were working for IBM, going to Microsoft.
When you want to leave, you go to your manager and say, here's your job, Aktu, I'm leaving.
But does my transfer has to be completed, approved, or just needs
No,
to be?
actually, the way it works is because of H1B portability, the moment your H1B is received by the USCIS,
Hmm.
the transfer, you can start working for the new company. You can go to
Ah.
Microsoft
Okay.
and say, here I am, give me the CEO's chair, I have arrived. Move Satya over.
Right. But like, okay, I moved it. Is there a risk that something can go wrong?
Yeah.
And
What if the H1B is denied because the government says, hey, dude, you have a degree in economics and you're doing computer architecture? That doesn't
okay,
jive.
okay,
Okay.
okay,
So
got
if
it.
they deny it, then you have a problem. Unless IBM has kept your H1B alive,
Right.
you would be required to go out. So normally what I recommend to everyone is if you want to be ultra, normally I can look at the H1B and tell you whether there's a problem. I mean, the
Yeah.
problem is only in degree and in the job being offered. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So they offer you a job as a, I don't know, HTML developer and they call it computer architect. That's not going to fly.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay. You are
Got it.
just writing HTML. Okay.
Right.
So if the job is okay and the degrees are okay, there's hardly any reason for the H1B to be denied. But let's say
Hmm.
you want to be even more secure, then I would say don't join the new company. Don't join Microsoft until Microsoft's H1B is approved.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell them to file premium processing. You can even offer to pay for it. Once it gets approved, you can then give your 2 weeks notice.
Hmm.
Just
Okay.
because it's been approved, you don't have to join right away. You could
Hmm.
join 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks later.
Right. Okay. Cool. There's follow-up question from Pranav. Is USCIS actively revoking H1B based on an NOIR? Which
Yeah.
sounds like yes.
Yeah.
There is very little information available on internet regarding NOIR. Should I go back to India immediately if I want to come back to USA legally?
I would argue you can file a B1, B2. because until it is revoked, it is still valid. So file a B1, B2, and then count about 180 days from the date of the revocation. The B1, B2 is very good for you to stay in the US, but let's not take a chance and leave before 180 days from the date they revoke the H1B. The fact that you have a B1, B2 pending and you filed it when your status was still good protects you. But let's not take too many chances.
It's a good one. Okay.
I've got about 2 or 3 minutes, then I've got to run into my next meeting.
All right. Yeah, we'll take last 2-3 questions. H1B stamping rule within the
It
countries.
used to be for extensions or what they call revalidation only, not for the first time stamping. I hope they change it this time around.
Okay. Can we do H1B transfer without payslips? My company is not providing. I have bank statements and
Yeah,
W2.
sure. As long as you were getting paid. How you were getting paid is not payslips is not the only way. I've never gotten a payslip from my office. They do direct deposits. I have no idea what they're doing with my money.
But usually a lot of companies have like ADPs or like
Yeah, but
portals
ATP
where.
sends me something that goes to accounting. I don't even look at it. I mean, I haven't looked at. I don't even know what a payslip. I don't even know what my paycheck looks like. I
Right.
think they do direct deposits.
Yeah. All right, cool. Last two question. For someone who wants to get permanent residence, can you explain the immigration advantages of working for a state university research center compared to private big company, all under OPT or H1B?
Um, well, it looks like it's a non-teaching position, right? So um, it depends. If you can qualify for EB1B, that would be a great advantage if you were India born. But if you are born in any other country, there's no great advantage in either one. It all depends upon how cooperative the employer is. If the employer is used to this process, either one is good. But between an employer who's not used to the process and an employer who's used to the process, pick the one who's used to the process. That's what matters the most.
There was a very related question on H1B, working for a non-profit organization, coordinating logistics and admins in federal contract projects, seeking green card options with India born.
Non-profit gives you no big advantage. Federal contracting gives you no big advantage. Just like an Zahan, you're like an ordinary human being, just like us. So
Nice.
nothing special. No wings on your back.
All right, this one is most interesting one, and we'll end it. Is there any truth to the claim that Statue of Liberty has hidden reserve of green cards stored inside her crown for emergency immigration situations?
Yes, and it's absolutely true. I have seen them. Some of them I've actually signed myself.
All right. Okay. On that note, sorry, this was a short one, but we'll
Yeah,
continue again next week, Friday. Thank you, Rajiv ji. Thank you, everybody.
great to see you guys. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. We can do a sneaky one. Let's see. Oh wow, there's a lot more questions. We'll see you next week. I'm trying to figure out how to end this, but it's not ending. It just keeps circling. Nice to see you all. All right.